Guys, I'm here on a plot of land here in Oahu, Hawaii, and I'm here with Nat. Natty by nature. Hi, Nat.
Hey,
how's
Dave.
it going?
How are you? Welcome.
Good, good. Thanks for having me, Nat.
Aloha.
Nat is a plant expert. He studied plants. He's an expert in native Hawaiian plants and all plants in general. He does foraging classes. He's an expert grafter. Goes all around the island, does grafting for folks who need help with grafting. And he's a multifaceted, multi-dimensional kind of guy in the world of plants. He runs a chocolate business. He does a lot of things in plants. He's a jack of all trades kind of guy.
Hopefully a master of some.
Yeah. So he's gonna show us around this community garden out here, and hope you guys enjoy. There's a lot of cool plants to see. So let's get started. Nat was showing us these things right here, which is it was a canistel egg fruit.
Yep.
And you grafted green sapote onto it.
Yeah,
right?
so they're in the same genus, but I'm not a big fan of egg fruit, so I wanted to graft one of my favorite fruits, the green sapote and mame sapote that my friend from the Big Island Yuko sent me over here.
Okay.
And this involves a couple of my advanced grafting techniques of using parafilm to do a really strong binding of the graft union, because zip ties instead of parafilm, because the parafilm can kind of melt and get soft in the hot Hawaiian sun. I want to congratulate on your pronunciation of Oahu. You nailed that.
Oh, thank you.
And I can show you later. I also dip these guys in what I call grafting goo.
Okay.
That kind of helps them take better, sort of an immune booster for them.
Cool. Yeah, we'd like to check that out.
So
Awesome.
And
you got another one back there behind you.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, this is the same thing. Another. I'm pretty sure they're a canistel. Someone else planted these, but because they have the latex or milky sap when you pick the leaves, it's a pretty good indication that it's sapotacea. And these are somewhat popular here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
For a certain cadre of people.
Cool.
But I'd rather it have more mame on it than egg fruit.
Okay. Nice.
And all these trees are this is a community garden.
Yeah.
So in our main plots, we're only allowed to do 5 feet tall. So you can see all the like dragon fruit and stuff. You can do as long as you keep it under 5 feet by the city ordinance. But around the edges, people have kind of snuck in some other larger trees. So taking advantage of those.
Yep.
And we can go through here and I can show you our banana papaya plot. I also got to give you
the view over here.
you're being modest. I got to give you credit when you're saying I'm the master grafter. You're one of my best teachers. So.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
I hope I can return some of that transfer of knowledge. So people are trying to keep their like larger fruit trees like mulberry and avocado kind of short by pruning. Tree. I don't think this is a grafted dwarf avocado, but regardless, they've done oh, maybe it is grafted.
Yeah.
Maybe it looks like a graft line down there. What do you think?
Could be.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Because I think it would be hard to keep a non-dwarf that low, even with radical pruning.
Mulberries. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've just been trying to graft some of the what is it? Pakistani mulberries that I think we were talking about. Oh, did I get those from you?
I think so.
Yeah. So
these are these?
No, I grafted them onto my tree when I lived in another place, and I gave a bunch to a friend who's out of town or taking it to her place, and she grafted on. So I give out everything that I get to all my friends so they can act as like a seed repository and scion repository in case I lose any of them. So
awesome.
when she does another pruning, I'll try to graft it onto this mulberry, because this just has the short ones, which are good, but if you have to protect them from the birds, it's a lot of work, right? To bag every single mulberry. Yeah. Or do birds devour mulberries in LA?
Not so much with the black Pakistans. I don't know why they don't go after those.
Oh, that's good.
We do. We're lucky. Actually, no. Sorry, I take that back.
They do.
This year they did attack and ate a lot of the black Pakistan mulberries.
Oh man.
We had to constantly go out in the tree and scare them away.
Right.
Just shake the tree or something. Yeah.
Oh, someone just told me recently about grafting mulberry onto fig, since they're both in the Moraceae family. Have you ever tried that? Or
never tried that. I've never tried that. I've tried white sapote onto citrus and citrus onto white sapote. No luck.
Yeah, I tried that too. That's a fun one to try. I wish it could work. Maybe I'll give you some of the grafting goo,
Okay, yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can
Great.
try it again.
Sure.
So yeah, around the edges. Oh, there's another moringa.
Moringa.
You're asking.
I love
about.
this stuff.
Supposedly a superfood.
You can eat the leaves
The
and
leaves
a lot of other
and
parts
the
of it.
pods. Yeah, and it tastes kind of mustardy in what was it, South Asia. They use the pods more, and they call it horseradish tree because it's so spicy.
That's right. It has a strong
Or drumstick tree.
Yeah.
So it looks like a legume, but it's not at all.
Yeah.
A lot of people get tricked by that. Oh, this is another, we're talking about some forage foods. This is one of my favorite forage greens. It's called Chinese violet. And you can eat the leaves raw. They have a slightly kind of arugula taste to them. Or you can cook them. If you're making saag paneer or something like that, and you need a lot of greens, this is easy to harvest a ton in a very short time. Make great salads, and you can throw the flowers in too.
You can eat the flowers?
Yeah. Just let me check them for slugs, because I don't want you to eat any slugs here. Yep.
I'm sure I've accidentally eaten some bugs on this trip.
Yeah.
I've been trying to eat stuff.
But just the slugs are the worst, because they can give you rat lungworm disease, which we don't want anyone to get.
Yeah.
How do those taste?
A lot better than the leaf.
Yeah. You weren't a fan of the leaf? I love this because it's everywhere, and it's easy to harvest a lot of in a short time. So I make a lot of stir fries with that. So then this is our papaya banana plot. So we're allowed to do those. They're not technically trees. They're giant herbs. I don't know if you knew that banana is the largest herb in the world.
So you can get past that rule of the tree thing?
Yeah.
With banana? It can
Banana and papaya, yeah, because they're not technically trees, I guess. Yeah. But we snuck in a bunch of named varieties of dragon fruit from my dragon fruit growing friends on the island. Connie Meyer. Uh-oh, those ones have faded. I might not be able to. Oh, that's DK over there. This is Josie's. This one we may never know. Just have to wait for it to fruit.
You wanted to go up the banana tree?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of using that as a trellis for them. We'll see how it works. I don't know. I haven't really grown dragon fruit before because I used to live in a wetter neighborhood where they didn't thrive.
Yeah.
But we snuck in Patanga tuba there.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
are you a fan of that?
Yeah, I like
these. Since it's close to the Suriname cherry.
Yeah, I like these.
I was trying to save some fruit from that because we've been having one a week coming off, but the bugs got to them.
Oh.
And then over here we have a bunch of papaya seedlings. That papaya is one of my least favorite fruits in the world, but my girlfriend loves it. So
papaya seedlings. Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah. And I'm gonna approach graft a few of these together, so that'll hopefully get them to grow faster. And then I'm also gonna try some techniques of dwarfing them by, I don't know if you've ever seen people put like a slice in the middle of the trunk crosswise, and it slows their growth. So you make like an incision here for 2 inches and an incision here, and you separate it with sticks. And they've been able to get them to stay like under a few feet and still produce. I've never heard of that.
That's cool. Yeah.
And the nice thing about this is only 2 months old, and we've already got a lot of stuff growing pretty well. We do a ton of mulching and biochar. You can see in here that we charged with fertilizer and local weeds, a lot of sheet mulching and regular wood mulching. So we're trying all the techniques of building up the soil because the regular soil here is pretty sandy and poor.
Okay.
But it seems like the results are paying off.
Just 2 months here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That looks good.
I mean, the bananas were about that height when we got them. So those grown more leaves, but not in height. And then over here is a native Hawaiian plant garden that we helped set up as a demonstration because we want people to focus more on natives, which we have the most threatened ecosystem probably in the world in Hawaii because there's so many invasive plants like the haulikoa that we're eating and the strawberry guava that you've seen. So this is a veo, a legume, so it'll help build up the soil with a native plant. This is a morning glory sweet potato relative called Kauohi'iaka. which means like the skirt of Pele, because it kind of is a ground cover. This is a native cotton called ma'o that has brown fibers to it instead of white. So they're not really long enough to weave into fabric. So the main pre-contact fabric in Hawaii was kapa cloth or pounded bark cloth. I don't know if you've ever seen that. They take a relative of hibiscus called how and they pound it flat, and it has a lot of mucilage in it, so it kind of binds to itself.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they couldn't really use this cotton for that. They've tried to crossbreed it with regular white cotton. This is a medicinal plant called Ilima that's in the hibiscus family too. This is one of our many native hibiscus, and the cool thing about Hawaiian hibiscus is that they're the only aromatic hibiscus in the world. They're usually smellier in the night, but you can get a little bit if you get your nose way up in there. Getting anything kind of like honeysuckle-ish?
Yeah, very faint.
Yeah. I think they're probably moth or beetle pollinated, so they're more fragrant at night. So I'm going to try to graft this. We have like 5 or 6 native hibiscus, so I'm going to try to graft them all onto this so we can have all of the native hibiscus represented in this one tree.
That's cool. Multi-grafted hibiscus.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Have it be like a rainbow tree, since we're the rainbow state.
Oh, that's right.
Like, can at least have red, white, yellow. I think there's an orange native one. I haven't ever seen any blue hibiscus, so I'll have to search for that.
That's cool.
This is Pohinahina in the mint family. It has a very sage-like smell to it, so I made a sage brown butter sauce with this.
Oh yeah,
And
that smells great.
Important medicinal in Hawaii.
You can eat this, or you have to cook with it.
You can eat it. It might be a little strong, but if you don't mind eating sage straight, what do you think?
Oh yeah, it's very strong.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Maybe better as a tea or
wait for that
cooked.
taste.
This is pikake, or sampaguita is the Filipino name. What is it? A gardenia. That has really nice fragrant flowers. Cool. And then this is a fig tree that was already here, and I went kind of crazy grafting it. So it has now like 6 or 7 varieties.
Ah, this is cool.
On this little guy.
Wow, multi-grafted figs.
Yeah.
A lot of fig grafting.
This is a great climate for figs. They like it kind of dry.
That's right, the dry.
I talked to one of the fig experts down the road, and he thinks it's a LSU purple. Have you had that variety?
I've never had it. I've heard of it though.
Oh, we put panache on there.
White piri?
Oh no, that's a
It's white piri. That's a mango, right?
Verdino del Norte, that one is.
Oh, it's the other side. Oh,
Yeah.
my.
I'm trying to reuse all my plastic so I don't waste it. Col de Dama, that one. I haven't tasted a lot of these, but I just got them on good recommendation.
Oh, that's cool.
And here you can see why we need to use a zip tie, so it's so windy that this one got knocked off. And still, last time I checked, it's still a little green underneath, you see. So the zip tie is really holding it on there.
Yep.
A lot better than the parafilm.
What is this?
Oh, there was a fruit there before, because the first few figs that this produced, I came, I'm like, oh, I think it needs another couple days to ripen, and I came back the next day and the birds had
that sucks.
noshed on it completely. So I put these clamshells over the fruit whenever I see them getting near ripening, and they can't get into those. Oh, this is not related to this graft. I was just regrafting this branch back onto itself to try to give it some structural integrity.
Cool.
So haven't gotten fruit off the grafts yet, but they leaf out incredibly quickly.
So do figs defoliate here at all?
They have a rust that kind of defoliates them. I don't know if you'd say that's naturally, or maybe this is it starting here, this yellowing of the underside of the leaves. So they do tend to lose their leaves, but it might kind of help them go through that normal deciduous cycle. How about in LA?
Yeah, they'll defoliate.
They naturally do that?
Yeah.
And do you find they fruit better after defoliating? Yeah. So it's not a bad thing. A lot of my gardening clients kind of freak out about that when they see the rust. I'm like, don't worry, it'll actually help.
It'll help, yeah.
So I find figs one of the easiest species to graft. So I have to try that mulberry on fig thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested to know if that works.
Yeah. They find super Frankenstein tree.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's most of the interesting stuff in the native plant area. Oh, this is another, we're trying to do some artichoke here. But do you have purslane in Southern California? Popular in Mexico.
I don't know.
It's
familiar.
really yummy. It's used in tacos a lot. It's called verdolagas in Spanish. It has you don't have any kidney stone issues, do you?
No, I don't think so.
You can nibble on that. Has a nice little tang.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
That's a very common forage green here.
Oh, I like that.
Great in tacos and stuff.
Has like a lettuce almost texture, but better flavor.
Do you get a little tanginess out of it?
Yeah.
So that comes from oxalic acid, which if you have too much of, it can cause you kidney stones. It interferes with the calcium digestion and uptake. But spinach and almonds and starfruit have a lot of that too.
That's right, starfruit, right?
Yeah.
They say you should cut the
ridges.
The ridges, that's right. Yeah.
And I had that problem because when anyone has a starfruit tree here, they're always giving away like hundreds of pounds. They can't eat it all. So in starfruit season, my friends know that I like them, so they'll give me like 30 pounds of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I would try to eat 5 in one day, and I started getting pains in my back.
Oh, dang.
Luckily, we have a remedy for it right here. This plant right here is called chancha piedra or stonebreaker.
Yeah.
Phyllanthus neruri. It looks like a legume, but it's actually, do you know like star gooseberry, Phyllanthus acidus? Have you ever had that one?
I don't know, man.
Really tangy.
Yeah.
So it's distantly related to euphorbs. It sometimes has a little latex, not showing it right now.
Yeah.
But this is the most studied herb in the world for treating kidney stones.
Oh, really?
And amazingly, it also has been shown in the lab to work against COVID. So whenever I got exposed to someone with COVID, I make a tea of this, turmeric, shiso, hibiscus, cacao, and elderflower, and it would usually help farm in Kona, but not here. So yeah, chard. Lettuce can be pretty hard to grow in Hawaii too, because the slugs love it even more than the humans do. So they'll go for it like crazy. But these people have been amazingly successful.
The one you gave me back there, it tasted like lettuce. It had the texture and the crunch of lettuce.
The purslane?
Yeah.
Nice.
But it had a tang to it that was really interesting. I like that.
I'm glad you like that. I bet you could find it in LA.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can show you these other grafted trees over here. Lilikoi, yeah. That's a pretty popular thing to grow here.
Yeah.
Although you have to do a lot of hand pollination because we've lost a lot of the population of carpenter bees in Hawaii, who are the main pollinator here for them.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
We're not sure if it's related to colony collapse disorder on the mainland or something else, some other pesticide that Big Ag is using is inadvertently killing off the carpenter bees. But I've seen a few of them here.
Yeah.
And I also love to use lilikoi or passion fruit medicinally. The leaves have a anti-anxiety compound in them.
Oh, really? Oh.
So in Latin America, where they're from, parents will give the fruit to the kids at night to chill them out and go to sleep. And as an adult, if you're just having trouble sleeping because your mind is spinning thinking about everything you have to do, you can make a tea of the leaves and it will have the same effect.
Oh, really? Wow.
But it's better to dry them because they have somewhat high levels of cyanide in them fresh.
Oh, okay.
But when you dry them, they're totally fine. And I've occasionally made it from fresh leaves, and I'm mostly fine. I'm a little addicted to fruit. I don't know if the cyanide did that to me or not. Chipotle.
Guys, check out Nat's homemade chocolate.
No, and this is factory made.
Oh, factory.
These are just the ones that didn't make the cut in terms of their temper and shine. See, these blush, we use them as tasters. This is chipotle allspice.
Oh, wow.
You can order these on our website, madrechocolate.com, if you want to get them.
Great.
Taste them along with AJ.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Spicy.
Are you both coffee drinkers?
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one too.
Yeah. Good.
The heat comes at the end.
Yeah.
When the chili melts out.
Yeah.
Espresso in one bar like that big. So it's the coffee that makes it dark instead of the cacao in this case.
Oh.
I think that was all the ones I found at home. If you have time, we can go to my chocolate factory later.
You have a chocolate factory?
Yeah.
Nice.
This is cool.
Yeah.
That's why I can't call it homemade anymore. But while I'm in here in the cooler, I can show you, this is the grafting goo that I was talking about.
Let's take a look at this. This is Nat's homemade. This is homemade, right?
Yeah, this one is.
Nat's homemade grafting goo, he calls it. Yeah. So tell us what's in here.
It's actually from a Chinese patent, so I can't sell it, but I can tell everyone about it. So it has aloe or prickly pear gel in it to act as a binding agent.
Okay.
And then the main active ingredients are aspirin, which actually acts as a painkiller for plants the same way it does for us, in that it sort of blocks the signals that they've been cut off the mother plant.
Ah, interesting.
So as soon as they've been cut off, they try to go to seed and like, oh, I got to reproduce
Oh.
so I can, pass on my progeny. So this kind of blocks that signal, so they might survive a little longer in a fresh state without trying to go to seed or flower. And then also has gibberellic acid in it, or which is sometimes called gibberellin, which is an immune booster plant hormone.
Yeah.
And so that kind of boosts the immunity of the scions. So I dip, after I do all the cuts, I'll dip it in this before I do the final wrap.
So you do the cut first, you expose the cambium there to this stuff,
Exactly.
then you put in the scion into the rootstock.
And I haven't personally done any controlled studies on it, but in the patent they said they were improved the grafting success of Bartlett pears from 49 to 90%.
Ah, interesting.
So it's pretty big impact. So
cool.
I've given it out to a few people and I use it pretty religiously, and can't seem to hurt. Also, like I soak the scions in here and it keeps them cool because I keep this frozen until I use it. So cool. All these little tricks help in grafting.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of an
send me
art.
that recipe. I want to try it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to share it with you. Then over here is a couple other trees that I've grafted. This is a Meyer lemon, I think is the rootstock.
Okay.
Or most of it. I guess we're really going to call it a Meyer lemon. It must have been grafted at some point. And then I added blood orange here, which aren't as good as in California in terms of color, because that color is actually like an antifreeze for them.
Yeah.
But if you stash them in the fridge after you pick them, they get a little deeper red color. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Sort of faking them into thinking they're in a
I didn't know that. That's
Mediterranean climate.
Oh, awesome.
Do the blood oranges get pretty dark in California?
Yeah. No, but not where I live. I'm a little closer to the coast. We don't get that kind of what is it? The heat or the cold? I
think it's the cold for the blood oranges. Yeah.
We don't get that cold, so
pretty stable.
They'll turn a little pinkish. They don't get full red. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I added one of my favorite citrus in the world, yuzu.
Yuzu.
On the side. Have you had that?
I think I've had the sauce. I mean like
sauce.
A Trader Joe's version of their hot sauce. They put yuzu in it.
Yeah, so it's amazingly delicious Japanese citrus, very unique scent. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fake yuzu running around in Hawaii.
Really?
And if they have like a large, bumpy, seedy, thick-skinned lemon, they think it's a yuzu.
Ah, okay.
So you got it. There's a couple distinct characters of yuzu. They have a double leaf, kind of like a Makut Thai lime leaf.
Oh, yeah.
So I always look for that. The other thing that has that is pomelo, also has that double leaf.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't have that, it's almost definitely not yuzu. But
Okay.
then also the smell once you get to know it.
Oh, interesting.
So hopefully this has plenty of lemons coming out. But
Yeah.
hopefully next year we'll have 3 or 4. I had one citrus tree that had 30 varieties and
Oh, really?
5 genera grafted on it. at my
Wow.
old place, so.
That's amazing.
You were talking about white sapote. I tried to put curry leaf. This guy is also in the citrus family.
Oh, yeah. Guys, curry leaf tree. Wow, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? Mariah Konegi, I think?
Yep,
Yeah.
you got it.
This is used for cooking Indian foods mostly, but I'm sure Nat knows about more uses.
That's the main use. I
Yeah.
love to make South Indian, like Kerala and Karnataka, tamarind curry leaf rice called puliogari, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
But even if you cook a lot with curry leaf, you probably don't even need one whole tree of it.
Yeah.
So I grafted a branch to my old citrus, and since they're both in the citrus family, it took. And I tried white sapote like you.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Didn't work for me either. What was the other? Wampi.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever had that one?
I've heard of it. I haven't had the fruit.
Yeah, it's good. It's kind of like a citrus candy.
Yeah.
And what was the 5th genera I had was finger lime.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's still in a separate genus.
Yeah, finger lime.
Oh, and kumquat is still a separate genus.
You can supply many Indian restaurants with just this one plant.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is calamansi, famous Filipino citrus that's a cross of kumquat and tangerine. So you can actually eat the skin. It's kind of sweet. And the inside is sour. It makes amazing gin and tonics and almost all Filipino food. You gotta sprinkle a little calamansi juice on it after.
Oh, yeah?
Amazing juice. Is so refreshing. I was having a calamansi soda that I made last night.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Really love it. Should add some of this to my drink today. It's too sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
Sometimes called sweet lime, although the sweet part is maybe debatable a little bit. Wild guava, which you see all over, and then this is maybe one of AJ's favorite fruit, Suriname cherry. Is that number 1 for you, or
it's not number 1?
Top
it's in the
5?
Top 5 for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely.
So this is probably a wild one you see all over Hawaii. You should move here. You got one of your top 5 favorite fruits growing wild in the forest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know where's the forest? Let's go there right now.
Loop Trail has tons of Suriname. I do my foraging walks up there. I often find Suriname cherries there. Huge bushes of it. Not super productive, but they're pretty easy to grow. So this is just the red wild one, which can sometimes taste a little bit gasoline-y.
Yeah.
So I grafted the black Suriname cherry from my friend Una over in Kona onto there.
Yeah, there's let's see, has she found a good variety? Is it like a local variety that is more makes the black fruit? Is it something that is like a local Hawaiian version?
Oh, I don't know. Are there like sub-varieties within black? I've only heard of black.
No,
versus red.
There's a few varieties that they've chosen different places. Some of them turn black. There's one from Florida. It's called Zill Dark.
Oh, okay.
Called Zill Dark. And then I know a guy locally in LA. He has his own dark variety. So, yeah, I don't know, but
that he grew from seed.
As a seed, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't studied up on the different varieties, but she's at 2,000 feet, so she's a little cooler. And that black one does really well for her, and she definitely likes the flavor of it. She said it's really hard to graft, so I did about 10 of these, and I think maybe only one sort of took. Well, still seeing if it'll come to full fruition.
Cool.
But it's nice to have something to experiment on.
Yeah.
And then over here is our main plot that we just started. Actually, 4.5 months ago, we built this Hugelkultur, which is basically a raised bed with logs buried in there. I can send you some pictures of when it started out. And the idea is that as the logs break down, they're providing time-release fertilizer and water. And this area in Hawaii Kai is super dry, so we really needed that if we can't get here to water every day. And we took advantage of the local resources. All these trees here, the invasive halicoa that we're nibbling on the seeds of earlier, and since they're legumes, they're nitrogen fixers. So those logs are full of good nitrogen, So we cut down a bunch of those, buried them in here, prayed that they wouldn't sprout in there, and then covered it with cardboard and soil and mulch. And normally when you start a hugelkultur, you have to wait about 3 to 5 months for it to sort of switch direction from the logs taking in nitrogen to releasing nitrogen. But we tried to leapfrog that by planting a bunch of nitrogen fixers like perennial peanut, which is a great legume nitrogen fixing ground cover.
Yeah.
We had a lot of pole beans and bush beans in here that were also pumping it full of nitrogen. So within only a few months, we were able to grow a lot of stuff in here.
Awesome.
The Thai basil, lemon balm, you can see we're already getting nice juicy black beauty eggplants.
Wow.
Bat flower, mustard, some of my favorite chilies over here. This is a Peruvian chili, ají amarillo, my favorite chili in the world. It tastes like a cross of apricot and a jalapeno.
Oh, interesting.
Have you ever had those?
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
Did I send you seeds maybe?
You might have.
All right, I should send you more if I don't. Okay. But you can kind of compare. This is an eggplant that's not in the hugelkultur, and you see it's a little bit wilted.
Oh yeah.
I haven't watered in a bit.
Oh yeah, there's a noticeable difference.
Yeah, it's this one that's really lush, and these were planted at the exact same time, same size, and the hugelkultur one has really taken off.
Yeah, interesting.
This is Jamaican lilikoi.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever had that? That's
no.
Passiflora laurifolius because it has unlobed leaves.
Okay.
And it's much sweeter, kind of like peach fuzz on the outside.
Oh.
In that same spot where we find the Suriname cherries growing wild, we find this growing wild. So.
Growing wild?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I don't know if it's a season for it right now.
Wow.
Trying to grow some lotus in this water pond. Have you ever had New Zealand spinach?
No.
This is another great one. It's found in the lab to prevent dementia. So probably something good for all of us. Nice crunch. I think you'll like it, just like the purslane.
Let's see here. Kind of neutral.
Yeah, it doesn't have the tang
of
the purslane.
Purslane is still my favorite so far.
All right.
This one's good too.
Send you home with some seeds. This is my girlfriend's prize chocolate striped tomato. I don't know if, are there any left in here? Yeah? Is it okay to put up? But tomatoes are surprisingly hard to grow in Hawaii. A lot of people, oh, you can grow everything in Hawaii, until they see the state of tomatoes here. Yeah. So we've had to protect it from slugs and rose beetles and leaf miner with this mosquito net. Oh, there's a nice one that's starting to ripen up. And we've been battling the slugs over the last week. We've evaded all our defenses like Sluggo that we put down. So we're trying to put in beer traps today. I don't know if you ever use those.
No.
So
this is a striped black tomato?
Chocolate. Chocolate stripe, we think.
Okay.
What else we got? Oh, this is a fun one. This is jaguar cacao or pataste or macambo, it's called in South America. It's another Theobroma like cacao, but it has much bigger fruit that have a hard shell, and the seeds are totally white. So some people call it the original white chocolate, even though that's not really where white chocolate comes from.
Oh, interesting.
And in Oaxaca, they make a drink that's a blend of the two called tejate. And in Mayan mythology, the jaguar is the male and regular cacao is the female. So for Valentine's Day, we make that bar where we swirl the male and female together.
Oh, interesting.
So that's
cool.
Fun one. I don't think it'll ever be a commercial success in Hawaii because it's a lot of processing.
Yeah. Has a nice name.
Yeah, jaguar. I think it's because the pod has stripes on it.
Yeah.
This is a plumeria grafting project.
Oh, really? Oh.
I did.
Oh, great.
Another rainbow tree where we tried to put different colors.
Plumeria right there.
Yeah. This one I did, what was this? 2 months ago. It's already leafing out pretty well. Plumeria, if you can get past the latex that they spit out, is pretty easy to graft. And this is a different species. This is a really fragrant plumeria alba.
Mhm.
I think they decided it is grafted onto the regular ornamental plumeria, and some of it is flowering over there. You can see on the other side. I can't remember if this is maybe a graft also. Let me see. This is a Kaneohe starburst color over here. So a few different varieties and colors grafted on there.
Cool.
Nice. Chilies all around the outside. More of your favorite purslane.
Yeah.
If you need some sustenance, or you should maybe keep these with the seeds, and you can plant it when you get back to SoCal.
Oh,
there you go.
Thank you.
Lemon basil, desert rose. What else? Borage, more chilies. Oh, here's another grafted Suriname cherry. This is one of the successful grafts of the black onto a seedling red.
Oh, great.
And then every pineapple we try to plant the crowns of. And did you have Frankie's patented honey cream pineapple when you were over there?
Definitely, we had the juice.
Oh, okay.
And it was fantastic.
It's good, right?
Yeah, so good.
This is either a child or a grandchild of that.
Yeah.
So it might not be as good, but hopefully it will.
That variety was so popular that when I announced I'm coming here, some people reached out to me and they said,
"Bring one back.
Bring one back. we'll pay for it. We'll just try to make it happen." I said,
they didn't know you can't.
Yeah.
Bring it on the plane.
I don't know. Can't promise anything, but.
Yeah, he's selling the farm of that if they just want to buy the entire farm of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's moving on to retirement, unfortunately.
Okay.
So he wants to get out of that's like growing it full scale for agriculture and sale is a little too much work for him. So he wants to sell that part off and just focus on the nursery. This here is my little nursery, so I have a bunch of mame sapote and mango.
Oh, I've never seen a sprouted seed of the mame.
Yeah, they sprout insanely fast. Oh, and this is also, the seed of mame is added to that tahate drink.
Okay.
It's loaded with cyanide, so when you break open a seed, it totally smells like bitter almonds, which is the smell of cyanide. But somehow they figured out how to detoxify it and get that nice
So
taste.
you planted these vertically? Am I looking at that correctly? Okay, so that's the mistake I made.
Oh, you tried to plant them horizontally?
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be kind of slow, and sometimes they can be incredibly quick.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a dwarf mango. This is a coggshall, which is a tasty. Have you had that already?
Yeah.
What do you think of the flavor of them?
It's standard classic flavor to me. It's fine. Tastes good. But it's not. It doesn't have any like special flavors. It's like a nice sweet classic mango. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to use that mostly as a grafting rootstock, and then I'll probably graft some other delicious mango like white puri or something on top of that, or namdok mai.
Yeah.
Because I got to keep it under 5 feet, so I'm gonna see if I can get fruit off of a dwarf container grown mango.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Then I got a bunch more chilies. Luke's Garcinia from Frankie's.
This is the Luke's?
Yeah. You see there. It's a little bit stressful environment for it.
Yep.
If you come along the boards here, this is another grafted. This is a mame with a green sapote grafted on top. So,
mame rootstock.
Yep.
Green sapote on top, grafted.
Yeah. Cool. Hopefully that will work out so I can be Johnny Mame seed and just spread these all around the island. And this is, do you know mamoncillo or guanipa or Spanish lime?
Yeah. So, okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. Mamoncillo, guanep, right? It's not a wee apple, correct? Oh,
no.
Those are two different things.
Two families, yeah.
Okay.
This is in the lychee family.
Okay.
There's a little confusion because there's another plant called Guanipa americana that's in the, or Sacha mango that's in the coffee family. This is in the lychee rambutan longan family.
Okay.
And my friend on Big Island has the best ever tasting mamoncillo I've ever had. So I
never had one. I really want to try it.
They're good. I grew up in a Dominican, Puerto Rican neighborhood in New York, so I grew up seeing them the shells strewn all over the streets.
Yeah. What does it taste like?
They're pretty sour.
Yeah.
It looks like a green longan with like a lot of lime juice on it.
Okay.
So they're really good. But hers are incredibly sweet. They're not that sour.
Oh, that's amazing.
So
That's
I'm
awesome.
hoping that takes, because I've heard Sapindaceae or lychee family is really hard to graft. Like I've tried to do about 30 grafts on longan and 0 of them took. So
yeah,
hoping this will be a little easier.
Yep.
This is a new chili for me. This is one from Germany called Barbarous Antipodes. That's a hybrid of ghost chili and bell pepper, and supposedly it's supposed to land up somewhere in the middle, like jalapeno.
Ghost chili bell pepper. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you got a really nice, juicy, meaty pepper.
This one?
Yeah, if all the slugs didn't get to them. I don't know if there's any left on here, but I haven't gotten one to full ripeness yet.
Yeah.
But hopefully that will work out. Cool. And because bell peppers grow terribly here, they get instantly attacked by slugs.
Yeah.
More Pitanga tuba. This is starting to fruit. Oh, where did I see? That's the beginning of the. Look kind of like an orange or yellow Suriname cherry.
Yeah.
Kind of more lilikoi taste. So if you're here for another 2 weeks, you could have one of those.
Cool.
This is another cacao relative. This is called cacaoi or wild cacao. It's Herania marii. So very different leaves. You would never suspect that was related to cacao, right? Looks more like a hibiscus that's related to. So we're trying to sort of coddle this. We have, I don't know if you ever used oyas, where you have a terracotta pot that you fill with water and acts as like time release watering for the plant.
Oh, okay, interesting.
And then we planted coleus next to it to act as a sacrificial lamb for the rose beetle, which are really rampant.
Okay.
And they will eat all these holes in the leaves.
Oh, wow.
And they really love cacao and hibiscus, the whole family.
Gotcha.
Oh, this is another grafting experiment. Can't grow one of my favorite plants, fruits in Hawaii, cherimoya, because it's too hot. So I'm trying to graft it onto pond apple as a rootstock.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly it can work on either pond apple or Guatemalan Soursop.
Okay.
So we'll see if that's true, because I'd really love to have a local supply of cherimoya. They can only right now grow it on like Maui. At 3,000 feet elevation. So when it's in season, I order like 30 pounds a week. I've become the local cherimoya dealer for a while. So yeah, we've had to like incorporate a lot of tricks of like the Hugelkultur and the biochar and heavy mulching and the oyas to keep everything happy. Oop, out for that hornet. He's been hanging out around the plumeria. Oh, this is one more fun plant. This is called hoja santa or a cuyo in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
You've had that before?
Yeah.
In Hawaii, it's called false ava. Okay. Because it's in the same family and looks like kava, but this will not relax you like kava does. It has a nice kind of licorice scent and taste.
You can just eat this, right?
Yep.
There's one.
I like to wrap fish in it and barbecue it.
Hoja santa. I had a lot of these at my house, and I took them all out.
Yeah.
So I started planting fruit trees.
They're very weedy. Got to be careful. Keep it in a container.
Yeah.
How's that one compared to the LA one?
I like this one.
Good. Yeah, I like to do a lot of Mexican cooking. Also really important in mole verde sauce. So got to have that going.
Yeah.
So that's most of the stuff here. Oh, did you want to?
This is a soursop too, right?
Yep.
Guanabana.
Yeah. People call it soursop more here, but I've been trying to popularize the original Spanish name of Guanabana because soursop sounds very unappetizing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you can always follow Guanabana with I don't know if you watched Sesame Street growing up. The Muppets are always singing that song.
Really?
Yeah. This is a good spot because we have the moringa or calamungai growing right next to the halicoa, which people often confuse because of the leaves.
Yeah.
So these are the pods of the leaf that we ate earlier. That's in the horseradish family. And then this is the most invasive plant in Hawaii called halicoa. It's a legume, so it has a lot of nitrogen, good source of protein, and you can eat the green pods, the brown pods, and even make capers out of the flowers when they're young, as long as you keep it under 10% of your diet. Otherwise, it might make you lose your hair. But if you limit yourself, eating just a few of the seeds a day.
Thank you.
And they're really yummy, like garlic edamame.
Yeah, these are good. Yeah, good.
Don't blame me for you losing your hair, AJ.
Oh, it's already happening. It's too late for that. Invasive species, though, right?
Yeah.
Not
very-
desirable for here for Hawaii.
No. So we call this eating the weeds.
Yeah,
eating the enemy.
Yeah. Well,
Help
it tastes
get
good.
rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I see these all over the island.
Yeah.
Now I know what it is.
Unfortunately, too common.
Yeah. Goes all the way over. It grows wild.
If you eat them, either eat all the seeds before you throw out the pot, or stick in your pocket, because if you don't want to put it on the ground if there's seeds in that. Make
Oh, that's
more.
right. Yeah, yeah.
And you wanted to see the bananas.
Bananas. There. This looks like coffee.
Yeah.
Something else. Let's go look at that Guatemalan tree, Soursop.
These are probably dwarf apple, if I can guess by their height. Really yummy, tangy variety.
Yeah.
Harder to find on the mainland.
Yeah.
And bananas are in a category called canoe plants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever talked to your viewers about that.
Sounds.
Vaguely
Tell us what it is.
It's so not native to Hawaii, but brought on canoes by Polynesian voyagers from western parts of the Pacific.
Okay.
Before, you know, like when you got on the airplane coming here, right?
Yeah.
You're probably saying, oh, the food's going to be terrible on the plane. I better pack my bag full of good snacks. So they were doing the same thing. They had no idea where they're going to wind up heading out into the open ocean. So they packed their canoes full of bananas and gingers and taro and breadfruit or ulu. And it's really good that they did, because the largest native edible fruit that I can think of is called the llama fruit. It's in the persimmon family, and the fruit are about the size of like a Tylenol pill, like that. So you can't get much sustenance out of even a full orchard of llama trees. So it's really good they brought all these canoe plants with them.
Yeah.
It's really allowed them to thrive, not just survive here.
Yeah. Speaking of the ulu, the breadfruit, I've seen a lot of those trees all over the place. They're huge, and they make a lot of fruit. And well, I told you I cooked one and tried to roast it. It was great.
Yeah.
It turned out great. We cooked it, roasted it, and then fried it afterwards.
Smart.
And then the flavor got really good.
Yeah, you
I
got
really
it.
like that fruit. It's really interesting. It's like, it's related to jackfruit, right? It's in the same family. Makes like a starchy, it's more like treated like a potato, instead a vegetable instead of a fruit.
Yep.
It's good.
Exactly.
Ulu, breadfruit. It's very nice. If I lived here, I would have a few breadfruit trees.
Yeah, they're
Definitely,
huge.
yeah.
They're making a comeback. I tried to plant one here, but the president was a little worried it would get too big, because they're hard to keep under 5 feet.
I see some pretty big ones.
Yeah.
Like this size.
And you can use them in multiple forms when they're young and like softball size and super green. I make what I call marinated ulu choke hearts. So you steam them and then put them in like a artichoke marinating liquid, and they taste exactly like a tropical version of artichoke hearts. And then when that sounds like the stage you picked at, when they're larger and still green, can cook them like potatoes. And when they get super soft, they get sweet, and it's almost like cookie dough. Did you get one at that stage?
I want to try one like that.
If you had one that you picked green and you set it on the counter for a few days, it would get soft like that.
Oh man, okay.
And then you can make like noodles out of it. It makes a great binding starch for bread. Nice and sweet naturally. So I think that's where it got the name breadfruit. And they've definitely had a comeback in the last decade. A lot more people are growing them, and you can buy like ulu chips and ulu hummus at the local grocery store all the time now.
That's amazing.
And I get sad when some of my clients that like have renters that are living off island, I go there and there's breadfruit all over the ground. I'm like,
No.
Can I teach you a bunch of recipes to put this to use? You're letting all this amazing food go to waste.
Exactly, yeah.
Trying to spread proselytize the use of breadfruit and all these local resources.
Bananas. And we got a nice big soursop, guanabana.
Yeah, here's some young soursop, guanabana, graviola as it's called in Brazil.
That's right, Brazil, yeah.
When I was in Brazil, I had to have graviola sorbet every day. So amazingly good.
Yeah.
And in the Philippines, it's called guayabano.
Yeah.
And they make a tea of the leaves to help relax. Some people attribute anti-cancer activities to the leaves, but that hasn't really been backed up much in the lab. Welcome to go up the ladder if you want to get a closer look.
There's the one, bigger one. There it is. Very interesting looking fruit.
And if you ever make a smoothie out of these, you definitely want to get all the seeds out because they have a compound in them called annonacin that can cause a neurodegenerative disorder like Parkinson's.
Really?
So I'm
Wow.
a little wary of like the
Yeah.
smoothie shops that just throw the whole thing in the blender, seeds and all, and then
Yeah.
strain it later.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of work to take out all the
Yeah.
seeds, but it's
Oh, I didn't
worth
know
it.
that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And
More fruit
they've
there.
found higher cases of, I think, both cancer and that neurodegenerative disorder in communities that eat a lot of the guanabana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Delicious one, but
Yeah.
just got to eat carefully, like the
Mhm.
star fruit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Great to finally meet
Yeah.
you, AJ. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming
Nat.
out here.
Really appreciate it. Guys, Natty by Nature. So much information, so much knowledge. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, give me a like and a subscribe, of course, as usual. Leave me a comment. And Nat, thanks for having me over. It's
My
really
pleasure.
awesome. Yeah.
Great to have you.
All right.
Aloha.
Aloha, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.